wake up in the night to a cold sweat and the fear that perhaps I didn't make the right moves yet. To use a waiver, would it be braver to hold out for more and call this guy the savior? The 5-4 line, been on the wrong and the right side. When the stats down, you gotta look to the bright side. And when the stats up, you better not slip. 11 other teams just hoping you will trip up. GFL, the greatest in the world, yes. #1 pick, you got the world at your doorstep. Take a bad trade, it gon' be met with a protest. The professional poised with the polish of a pro step. Believe the hype. Yeah, fantasy game got me feeling like the spice of life. Give me the spice tonight with Sean Curry and Mike.
Alright, we're here for what I believe is the last spice. Michael would like to have something to say about that in the future, but
Yeah, I'm trying to convince you to do one post-grand final.
yeah, 21 weeks in, massive game this weekend between Joel and Nelson.
It's already happening.
It's equivalent of John Cena and Rock, basically 2013 rematch in 2014. So, not sure who's doing that, but it's a pretty big match coming up this week, Michael.
It is. It's already underway. Joel's winning at 6-3. Field goals are pretty close. You'd say there, Sean.
15 shots.
Points. Joel's winning by 1. Blocks. Nelson's winning by 3, and steals. Joel's winning by 2, and turnovers only 4 different. So it's a pretty close matchup. That depending on who's playing.
What's some of the matchups today? The players playing today.
Well, John Wall is in the third quarter against Philly, so that's a nice matchup for a nice game for Nelson, who's already got 14 assists.
14 assists, yeah.
Tobias Kemba Walker, that has been such a fucking godsend for Nelson to come back around playoff time and have like another round 3 guard. It's just fantastic.
Is that Covington on Nelson's team?
I was talking to Nelson the other day. I said, wouldn't it be funny that if it got to the last day and Covington hit a 3 to win it for you?
Well, he's 15 threes off the pace, Nelson. Joel's got 29.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen, but he might get a steal or whatever.
Is there
There's actually a few injuries. Draymond Green is injured, so that's not ideal considering he's been so good for the whole season. I think Jeremy Lin injured a couple of games ago. I think so.
Yeah, he
missed 2 games. Derek Favors is injured for Nelson, and who do you reckon?
Hey.
Who do you reckon?
Can win.
Yeah.
What do we got? So, field goal could. I think Nelson will hold field goal. Joel will hold free throw.
I think Nelson will hold assists.
Joel will hold threes. I think points is a deciding category up for grabs there. I think Nelson can take rebounds. Definitely when it's like almost half time and Hibbert only has 1 rebound and 0 other stats besides a turnover. Definitely think Nelson can take rebounds.
Especially with Davis.
I think he can hold assists. Steals, I think Joel will have. So I think Joel would be looking for turnovers, steals. Let's bring that off.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that.
Points, threes, free throw would be probably Joel's looking for a 5-4 win here.
Derek Favors is supposed to be coming back today, so that helps his rebound.
I reckon Nelson's got. I think Nelson's got a better spread for this week.
Yeah.
By the looks of it here, but Joel could easily take 5 categories with having threes and free throw pretty much locked, and I'm probably expecting to take steals.
Yeah, you got Harden and Curry a 4-game week, so if they don't get rested by their coaches,
points. So the only thing is, not having Durant might not get in the points and rebound category. But
do you think Joel's regretting?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, if Durant had played just 1 week this week, Joel probably would have a championship locked up because he'd probably have points and rebounds definitely taken in this case. So he'd have at least 5 categories almost locked up.
Yeah.
Just maybe have to, take a bit more care on the turnover category, but he'd have a better field goal. So
when you bring Durant in, you got to roll. You got to roll.
Yeah, I mean, it would have won the championship right there, bang. He had a few credits to spare. No one else could expend that amount of players.
Yeah.
No one, only the first team could expend that kind of players for Durant at that time of the year. And I think is Brandon Knight back? I haven't watched any NBA the last few weeks.
I don't think so. No.
So Joel would have been without Brandon Knight anyway.
Yeah.
So he would have had Marcus Gasol, which is still handy. But
yeah,
I mean, he took a good risk that basically would have won. Guaranteed
one
pretty
in the
much.
championship. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon Nelson's got some good pieces to play with, so his stats going to keep counting.
Well, you got Chris Paul, so his assists lead is going to increase, and then you got Derek Favors coming back and Davis. So I reckon by the end of today, he should be ahead in rebounds. Let's have a look at the coming games to see what in terms of who's playing. So we've got James Harden, Steph Curry.
This is the Friday game.
Draymond Green playing tomorrow, and only Corey Brewer and Spates playing for Nelson. So Joel's got a better day tomorrow.
Keep in mind the turnover count as well, though. It's an important category.
Decent amount of players playing for both sides, but I think Nelson's got 2 more players playing. Just by looking at it.
Pretty even on the player count.
And then day 3, Nelson's
has a
lot, and does Joel have a lot?
Pretty much almost a full side.
So, yeah. Be interesting to see what the last day is.
And reasonably similar. Joel might have a couple more.
It's interesting to note why is there nothing on the waiver wire? Because no one's dropping people. Because why are you holding?
Well, I mean, it's the last game of the year. Okay, so it's a grand final.
Yeah.
You could drop on the last day knowing what you need, and with other teams not able to use the waiver wire is pretty full.
Yeah.
You could drop 3 good players on the last day to try and win the matchup on the Monday or on the Saturday or whatever you want to do.
But having said that, is there going to be enough games on that last day with quality waivers to add? Why not start using it now? Like use 1 or 2 and then keep 2 in your back pocket.
Well, no. How many ads have they used on that? Because if they've used 1 or 2 already, I probably wouldn't be just burning them for the sake of burning them for extra games that you don't know. Because you've got to see where the stats lie. You don't know where the stats lie yet. I mean, on this game today, you'd think Joel's better in rebounds, but after today, I mean, Nelson might be better in rebounds.
The last ad was by Willow, so there's been no ads made.
Yeah.
No ads made.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to add a player for rebounds for Joel, and then by the end of the day, Joel should have added a player for steals. So there's a lot of legwork. The majority of the players playing are going to decide what the stats are going to be, not one individual waiver player. So you need to wait. You need to wait for the stats to align.
Are you holding that though?
Well, if Draymond Green doesn't play,
well then
Iguodala might get 30 minutes again. If Iguodala gets 30 minutes again, there's every chance he can get 2 or 3 steals.
Yeah.
The steal category is very close.
Well, that's true. So
he's got free throw to burn. I mean, obviously, still feels he's a chance in assists as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously he's keeping an eye on what Draymond Green's doing and holding Iggy and.
You don't want to drop.
No.
Iguodala. Draymond Green doesn't play. Iguodala starts or gets 30 minutes.
Yeah. Not that he did much in those minutes anyway, but so prediction. Where are you going?
I think Nelson can win. I think he can win 6-3. I think Joel's going to have a good chance at 5 categories, but I think if Nelson's players perform like they should, he can win. I feel like Nelson should win the rebounding category.
Yeah.
Okay. And on that, I mean, if Joel can make a serious amount for points and keep his turnovers under, then he could win 5-4 very easily. So it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, it's going to be one for the ages, I think.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my next discussion point. do you want to be in a league where Nelson wins 2 titles?
Yeah, I mean, you always said that. Like, you don't like Nelson. Put it on the table. You have a bit of ongoing.
I don't. It's not that I don't like Nelson. Just I think that ego is just getting a bit too big.
Well, I mean, you got a guy. How many titles has Joel won? 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be honest, like that's a lot of titles. It's 5. So Nelson having 2, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Nelson's been too bad. I mean, between the both of them, they've both got big egos.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pick your poison. I think me thinking Nelson win. Do I want him to win? I don't really. I mean, I haven't really been following the matchup till the last 5 minutes, so I don't like. Not. I wouldn't say I don't care. I mean, I've come to terms that one of those 2 are going to win.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. I think it'd be good for the league or it'd be good for better for Nelson if he backs up last year and shows that it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't mind Nelson winning. I think if he wins, he kind of establishes himself. There's kind of Joel, 5 championships, and then there's a few of us on 1.
Yeah.
So I think good on Nelson if he can get 2 and kind of rise above
and
that.
What I will say, which I'll be pumping up his ego here, is that I reckon he's had a ripper of a year, and all the moves he's made have been really, really smart moves.
Yeah. I mean, I've made about 8 trades with Nelson, and
well, he hasn't been afraid of trading, has he? I think he's probably had 20 trades this season.
Of those trades, the only one I really regret is the PJ Tucker for Danny Green trade.
Yeah,
the first trade we made.
Yeah.
And I mean, getting Clay for Bosch, getting Clay and Cantor for Bosch, for me, I felt restarted my season.
Yeah.
It gave me life where it just completely restructured my season. So, and then like I had a trade, I can't remember the details of the trade, but I gave him Kemba Walker. He held him for about 6 weeks, and then, or when he came back, Kemba Walker's been amazing for Nelson. But in that 6-week period, if I had held Kemba Walker,
you would have been
there's no way I would have made top 4. Or where did I finish? 4th.
Yeah.
4th. There's no way I would have got 4th.
You may have not even made the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, like Nelson's traded really good, and I was involved with a lot of trades with Nelson. But I'm happy with 90% of the trades I made with Nelson.
And I made a couple of trades with Nelson, and I think he was a lot easier to deal with this season than in previous seasons. Not to say I don't think I have had many run-ins with him in terms of trades.
I thought he was the best person to trade with. I don't think we just had. Yeah, it just worked.
He'd always try to, like, in my dealings with him, he'd always try to go above, and I just used to stand my ground, and I'd then get a message the next day going, "Oh, you're still prepared to do the trade?" I'd be like, "Yeah, no worries," and that's fine. So, and as a manager, you always got to try to pull a Swifty, try to get the best deal for your side.
So, on that, the matchup. I mean, it's pending. It's still going. All the best to those 2
good luck,
lads. One of those guys will be pretty happy by next Monday night.
And Joel's got the trophy in his picture. He'd be wanting to get that back.
15 minutes in, Michael, trying to keep it
a
sort of short leash for our last one.
So, do you now want to start talking about the other?
Yeah, we'll just briefly. Yeah, I don't want to spend because obviously we don't want to go over our run time, or we'll get delisted.
Are you still having trouble with internet? Am I having
I'm alright now.
Yeah.
It's
Did you sort out your sister? Did you let her know how it was?
Too much Wi-Fi being used.
What was she doing? Was she fucking
watching her TV shows? Can we go to the matchup, mate? We're 13 minutes in.
Fucking
no one gives a shit.
People want to know about what their sides were. Schedule. All right, so
who have we covered?
We've covered myself, Ben, Downing, and Luke, and Josh. So does that make Toby our next discussion point?
Yeah.
Toby. All right. So we'll click on Toby, or is it Gav? Because Gav didn't make the finals.
We'll just run off. We'll just go off the top of the head. It'll take too long loading up all the windows.
No, I've got them up.
Gavin had a nice, probably the tightest of strategies for the draft. Not sure if it will. I don't think he's watching Spice at the moment. But at the tightest of drafts, strategy wise, went with the big strategy.
Yeah, here we go.
But in the
Melo,
end,
Serge, and Dwight.
yeah, I mean, probably should have taken James Harden over Melo, and Dwight Howard busted big time.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so I mean, Dwight's normally gone first round in our league for most years, probably the last 9 seasons.
He could have had Marc
Fell
Gasol,
third.
Bledsoe, Conley.
DeAndre Jordan, he could have had third without having to trade for.
DeAndre Jordan went one.
Yeah,
before.
I mean, one pick 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd give him probably, off the top, I'd give him probably, draft wasn't too bad, I'd give him a C+ on that.
I think I'll give him a C. I just think he sort of cornered himself a little bit in terms of points and big stats and threes. That's pretty much all.
Yeah, I mean, he went, as I said, he went the tightest of strategies. He went 5 category strategy. I did that the year before.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hard. It's bloody hard. It's like you dig a trench and you fucking, you're like, well, this is it. This is our last stand. This is what we got. And yeah, I don't think that strategy works in this league.
No. And also, when you look at Dwight Howard, him being out, it already ruins your big man strategy anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, the bigs, fuck, they miss too many games. The bigs, they get injured too easily. You can't account for that. But a 7-foot guy's probably going to play less games than a small forward.
Yeah.
I
did like his pick 5 and pick 6, Ariza and Korver.
Yeah, they were really good picks.
It would have just been better if maybe pick 3 and 4 was like a couple of point guards, and then he may have been able to get a couple of bigs later on in the draft.
It's very hard to go 3s without going points.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be trying to get those specialists. I guess, but it's going to be very hard, very hard. So, I mean, he made a few trades. He made a good trade with me. He gave me Melo. I gave him DeAndre and Jabari Parker, and he could have killed me. But somehow Parker got injured just about the next
bullets.
game. Parker got injured. I would have been fucked. I mean, I would have given up so much for. So in the end, I just lost DeAndre, and I got reasonable service out of Melo. I mean, he was rumoured to shut down very early, and about 10 weeks later, he shut down. So
where do you grade his trades? Just.
That's the one I remember. I don't think he was active as what he was the year before.
No, I'd probably give him a C+.
Yeah, I'd give him probably a C+. He wasn't bad at the trades he made. I mean, he made a little bit of a blooper. He traded me Ariza, and I gave him Nick Young and Gerald Green, and they were playing good at the time. They were.
And then the day after, Nick Young went down.
It was a fucking joke because I looked at that trade and I was like, Nick Young was getting for 4 weeks in a row 2.5 threes a game. Gerald Green was 1.83. He was just under 2. They were playing pretty good. And I was actually like, Reese is in a bit of a slump. These guys are 3-point specialists. I'm hitting 83s a week. Do I want to move him?
Yeah.
Move them? I'll do it. And literally, the fucking Gerald Green, I don't think, has played a minute since.
No.
It's amazing.
No.
So
and Nick Young dies.
Nick Young died. So I was just like, wow.
It's like you made the trade and then you had a sniper rifle and you just went bang.
Well, I mean, it's good because I haven't won a lot of trades like that where good luck comes your way the next day like that. And this year I got a little bit of that for the first time. So I was pretty happy with that.
Waivers, I don't reckon he made a lot of moves.
No,
and he held Dwight for way too long, so I'd probably give him at best a C, not looking into it too deeply.
It's been a couple of years since he had the Larry Sanders waiver of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a few moves, but I mean, I think he was limited in his strategy. I mean, when you think of the team Gavin had, and the fact that Hassan Whiteside was on the waiver wire at some point.
Imagine pairing that with a Barker.
Alex Len was on the waiver wire at some point. Gobert, he drafted. Or he picked up.
Is that a message that you need to read out?
No, it's from Jim. He didn't have Gobert down. Or he had Gobert or something. At some point early in the season off the waiver wire. Dropped him. Alex Len. Nurkic. I mean, there's
that would have been some nice players to pair with Barker.
There's 5 bigs that you could have, added at some point as keepers. So what's happened there is because you've set your strategy, you've boxed yourself in where you've got premiums, which you view as premiums. Now that premium, Howard, isn't contributing, but there's these players who could potentially elevate themselves to be a premium that can't make it onto your team because, of the restrictions of what you already have and how the certain players are viewed. That hurt me a year ago. By going so specific on a strategy, you just box yourself in.
And you're not going. And at that point, it's not like you go, "Oh, I better drop Dwight Howard for Hassan Whiteside."
Well, you wouldn't have done that at that point.
No.
But he was going to add Whiteside against Nick. Didn't, added someone else, and then Nick added Whiteside for that week, and Whiteside blew up. So he was close to adding Whiteside.
Yeah, it was like me with Covington. I was nearly going to add Covington. I nearly added my finger on the button.
I had Cayman over Whiteside at the time, and I could have added Whiteside and been set. And I'm a Miami fan, so it wasn't an easy decision.
Anyway, we'll go. Do you want to look at his rundown?
Nah, we're going to move on to the next team, mate. We'll be here for too long.
Bang. So we'll go to Toby.
Yep.
So we'll look at Toby's draft. Where is he? Fellowship. So he went 2 bigs and Derrick Rose.
Went all the legends.
Oh, and then Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Brook Lopez, Joe Johnson, Jeff Green, Collison.
I will say...
Stoudemire, Dallenbert. He had a good team though.
I will say this. He got screwed over on George Hill being out for nearly 3/4 of the season.
There wasn't much to take around that 7th round, I reckon.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler was dominant. Diamond in the rough. There wasn't much in the 7th round.
If you've gone Derrick Rose, Kobe Bryant, do you take the chance of go Brook Lopez? Do you?
No.
Because you've got LaMarcus Aldridge and Kevin Love who don't block.
You can't factor for injuries. It's
no, but he's been injured for the last 5 seasons.
You never know. It's like you in bloody Gallipoli. You never know when you're going to get hit by a bullet. You can't factor when the bullet's going to hit you. But if someone's been shot 5 times, don't pick him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like.
But with these bigs that shoot, why would you then get one that blocks and doesn't rebound?
I don't know strategy-wise, but he ended up having a good team.
Yeah, he did.
He had some bad injury run, but that was always guaranteed 100% to happen. But, he bounced back well. I thought he had a pretty good season. I thought when he was up early, I thought he'd go down and not come back up into the finals. And there was every chance of an upset on Nick. I think he played in the first game.
Yeah.
He didn't quite get there. But he had a good side. So, I thought he had a good season. I thought his draft I'd probably give... it's really weird.
Yeah, it's a weird draft.
A weird draft. I'd only give it a C, but it performed, like an A. But
I'd give him a C+.
Yeah, it's performed much better than what the result of the draft is. But there's probably 5 or 6 picks I would have done differently. Obviously LaMarcus Aldridge carried a lot of the load for the season. Yeah. With the amount of games Derrick Rose, Kobe Bryant, George Hill, Brook Lopez to an extent have missed. Joe Johnson to a lesser extent. And a little contribution from Gerald Green. It's amazing that the production he's got out of his side, really.
Yeah. Gerald Green at the start, though, was playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Trades. Does Toby have to be the hardest manager to trade with?
Toby's a hard one to trade with because I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a long process these days. It's a different trade process than when he first came in as a rookie or sophomore. Yeah. But I made a couple of deals with Toby this year, and really, you've got to kind of spend. Yeah. So you've got to kind of put a reasonable deal out there. A fair deal, like as in trying to get a straight swap might not get it done.
Yeah.
You've got to give a little bit more. Don't waste your time giving 2 players for one of his or eat and bit places. Yeah. But if I can get from the flip side, I can get a Nick Young and a Gerald Green, and then add them, and I can give him one player.
Yeah.
You can do that with Toby.
Yeah.
But you can't do the vice versa. It's very hard to give 2 and then take 1 back. But that's fine. I mean, everyone trades differently.
Yeah.
If
He
everyone
didn't
trades-
make many trades, though, did he?
No,
One or two?
but the trades he made actually helped
Helped
his
his
side. I thought, as I said, you can kind of only trade to give him what he wants. Exactly. So I think that means that generally it's hard for him to lose a trade that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like his trade-wise, I'll give him a B.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as I said, if a trade goes through with him, he's
Having
generally
said
getting
that
what he
as
wants.
well, sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. So
Sometimes, definitely. Yeah.
so he's not just throwing his players around for the sake of it. So even though he didn't make many trades,
No,
it could be seen
as I
a good
said,
thing.
I've given him a B. I think he,
I'll give
as I've already
I'll give him a B
discussed.
minus. Do we know what he did with waivers? Did you want to have a
No,
look at that or no?
I mean, it's off the top of the cusp, but I normally use standings and just look at the most ads made.
So
I mean, he's made
36.
Yeah, he's
so
probably
not
not
a lot.
active enough. I mean, only 2 more than Luke's team, which, as we noted earlier, wasn't quite as active. You need around 55, 60 for the ads for the year. You've got to be rotating those players that aren't contributing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a scenario where you're probably holding Derek Rose, who you don't drop till you know, Kobe Bryant, Brook Lopez, you don't drop. So you probably had 5 or 6 players that you just weren't going to drop, that weren't contributing at times of the year. But so maybe there's an explanation. Maybe you should have had 45, maybe 50, low 50. But
we'll go on to Willow's team now. He made 61 moves, so we'll
Willow had a nice 61 moves, good balance. He had a pretty active season, Willow. I thought.
Let's have a look at, before we look at his draft, let's have a look at his last 3 weeks, just to recap that.
8-1,
9-0, and 5-4.
Yeah.
And that pretty much gave him his playoff chance. Going to his draft, where is he?
LeBron, Millsap, and I mean Noah's coming off a defensive player of the year season, so you think he was warranted to be taken 3rd.
Yeah.
Cartier Williams.
But having said that, with Pau Gasol coming in, like I wouldn't have picked Noah at 3.
Yeah, MCW, Bradley Beal, Hibbert, Calderon, Thomas, Sullinger, Rick Roberts, Plumlee. I'll probably give it a C+.
I'd give it a.
It's not bad.
I'd give it a C minus, just on the basis of the fact that I reckon he could have paired LeBron and Paul with some other pieces that would have helped him.
Gasol or
Like, you could have had DeAndre there,
you would have gone DeAndre over Noah.
and you could have had Thad Young over.
But I mean, Noah gets you some assists as well, so
Yeah.
he's an assisting big. Noah had a very good season the year before, and there was probably just a little bit of belief that he could do somewhat similar to what he did. Trade-wise, I thought trading saved his season.
Yes, I'd be giving his trade. I'd be giving his trades an A.
Yeah. Willow made some trades with me. I can't remember the exact deals.
I was pretty critical at the time. Like, I blasted him that he gave away 7 starters, and I crucified him a bit. But at the end of the day, obviously he moulded it into a way where it could help his matchups.
When he combined Leonard with Luke, so when he got Leonard in, did he have Ryan Anderson to move him out?
Mm-hmm.
Great move. He made some really good moves. I mean, the little sneaky one, who in hindsight, my little blooper, it wasn't, because I got a lot of players for what I gave to Willow.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with the deal that I made. But I threw in Cantor.
Yeah.
That was a big no-no. Because I liked Cantor and he was doing alright, but he was a little injured at the time. He missed 2 weeks. I threw him in, and Cantor's been massive for Willow. Massive.
OKC, and it's just going crazy.
Massive for Willow. So, I mean, points, field goal, rebounds, and just get that kind of 17.5 points a game. 8-9 rebounds since, the All-Star break. Whew.
And just quickly, his waivers, he made 61, so I'd probably give him a B.
Yeah, active. So if you're active, there's a good chance you're finding good players.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. So, Mother of Willows, it'll be. Did you finish?
Yeah,
it'll be you.
Me, yeah. How do I rate myself? Whoa. Like you
Building
cover it,
the
mate. I'm
stuff.
not going to grade
Oh,
myself.
aren't you?
Nah.
So
Weird.
you were very active. 80, 85. So
The most.
the
Yeah,
most.
probably overactive. Probably too many. Sean, slow down a little bit.
Just slow down a little bit. Going over your matchups, that 8-1 against Josh early on helped. You had a 6-3 over Downing. You had.
Hang on. That's you on
Oh,
you.
hang on. I'm on me. Sorry.
Giving us some silly info.
Yes, silly info. I was going to say you
I
didn't lose the
think-
last 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. The main thing with my season is I didn't lose a 7-2.
Nah.
The most I lost was, 3 categories. So that was a positive for me.
And
Because,
the last 4 weeks were just like you didn't blow out,
yeah.
and because you had already solidified yourself in a.
There must have been a period around then where I lost Mello.
Yeah,
So I must have lost a little bit of my edge,
yeah.
losing Mello, which was
Well, you
always going to happen.
had 5 wins.
Huh?
You had 5 wins straight before Mello went down.
Yeah. So I had it. Yeah. There was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, and you got to ride him.
I couldn't-
You're not going to get the same value out of him
Yeah.
like with trading him because people aren't
Yeah.
prepared to pay for someone who's going to go down. And
Yeah.
and you got to love it. Like every time me and you talked about Mallow, I kept on saying he's going to be shut down. He's going to be
Yeah,
shut
but you
down.
can't get anything for him.
No, you can't get anything for him.
Everyone knows he's going to be shut down. No one knew when.
And
I'm
you just
lucky I probably had him to go on a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, because there was talk that he was going to get shut down a lot
A lot of-
earlier than that.
I got a lot out of him for how early he was being told to be shut down.
Yeah,
There was even a period where I relaxed for 2 or 3 weeks. So that's
So
Draft
I'll give you
wise.
waivers. I'd probably give your waivers a B plus.
best waivers. Like I found a lot of eat and bit players. Found a
Yeah.
lot of players that I traded. Found a lot of players that
That you
contributed for a
helped
short
in
amount of
matchups.
time.
Yeah, that was like mine. Remind you.
I didn't hold on to players too long.
Yeah.
That were waivers. Nurkic was one of my favourite ones, but he wasn't quite ready this year. He should probably.
He's a prick to try to trade to get in your side on
Yeah.
2K. I tell you what. So where are you? Where are you? There we are. So you had Chris Paul, Chris Bosh, DeAndre, Jabari.
That was the big question mark. The 4th pick, Jabari.
Yeah. Would you have considered maybe going another guard at that point?
Well, I mean, you look behind it, and Nerlens Noel went right after him. So there's another rookie that is was a bit iffy. But then look, you can't look past Vucevic, can you?
yeah.
That Joel's taken. So I would have basically
Oh,
gone.
that was 42. Sorry, we're looking at the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So Derek Favors, Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, should have taken one of those. Easy, yeah. So that 4th pick was a blunder that I kind of realised at the end of the draft. But I mean, last year I picked Rondo, who never played for me.
Yeah.
So Jabari still gave me about 6 weeks and was part of the Mello trade.
If your
Fuck
draft happens again, do you pick Mario Chalmers at pick 8?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, I thought Mario was good for me, and I wish I didn't drop him for his 2 best weeks of the season. Pick eight's a bit of a nothing. You can't really. I mean, those picks there. I mean, the amount of players
Could have Brandon Knight.
the amount of players I've rotated out of my side.
But four other teams passed on Brandon Knight as well at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't rate Brandon Knight at that point. I mean, he had a really good season, but at that point, I didn't rate him.
And you also got to factor in Jabari Parker was going to come in and steal some of the show.
Yeah, Chalmers. I mean, I picked him up off the waiver wire when I got him back and kept him the whole season. So yeah, I mean, with Wade's Wade's had a pretty good season, but you always had that thing there where Wade would probably sit games, and that Chalmers would get minutes.
Yeah.
You didn't know about Napier. You didn't know that he was going to play minutes. Obviously, there was a trade made with Dragic. I never thought would get Dragic ever.
I don't mind where you picked him because I didn't really rate Cole's chances of doing anything special for Miami.
Yeah.
Even though
I don't rate Cole, at all from my Miami perspective. Plays good D, but can't pass, can't shoot, and can't finish very well.
At the time, I did like your Anderson Varejao pick. I thought that was really, really good pick because I thought he was gonna have to start for you.
You knew he'd get injured, but fuck, he gets injured, doesn't he?
I liked it from where you picked him because it's third pick. If you ride him as a starter for like the first 4 weeks, he can win you games. Just double doubles and
I think the Mozgov kind of trade would have stuffed it anyway.
But at that time it seemed like a good pick. So I'll probably give your draft a B-, I think. Just the Jabari Parker, Andrew Wiggins, and Channing Frye, I reckon you probably fucked up there.
Wiggins ended up pretty good for me.
Like, if you have your time again, do you pick Jordan Hill over Channing Frye?
I don't really like Jordan Hill's not a player that I'd hold on to. Shannon Frye, I like the upside that he could be a big that hits threes. He had a really good year the year before. He was going into the Magic where the power forward position, he should have had a good. Shannon Frye should have played better this year than what he played. Really. I mean, based off his Phoenix season the year before, there wasn't really much competition. I mean, Aaron Gordon's not ready this year. You got Deadman exchanging with Vucevic. I mean, really, Shannon Frye should have had a usable year, a top 100 year.
Yeah, and at times he actually wasn't, like, he had a couple of periods where he was not too bad.
I'm pretty happy with that pick. I mean, he hurt himself pre-season. I think he did something to his knee or something, which might have thrown out his pre-season and stuffed his season. I don't know. But everyone gets injured and comes back. So.
And we'll go quickly on trades. It'll probably give you were really active and you moulded your side really well when you trade, so it'll probably give you a B.
Yeah. I think I made, with Nelson, probably amongst the most trades for the year, and won some trades and lost some trades. Had a trade vetoed that I wasn't very happy about, and in hindsight, shouldn't have argued so much because I would have been better keeping the players I moved out. But you don't know at the time, and I mean it's a very competitive league.
You traded Isaiah out, and then he had like 10 steals in 2 games.
And Wiggins was really good.
Yeah.
And then Jarrett Jack kind of faded, but just to have those two, that quantity there.
Quickly moving on to Nick. Wow. Win.
Yeah, probably the surprise packet of the season.
Yeah.
Set a record in most wins. Westbrook came through for the first time in a while as far as just, taking over the league.
I was really happy when he picked Westbrook because I was going to stick clear of him anyway if he fell to me because of injury concerns. But
it's funny, the guy has been injured and got injured, kept coming back.
So we'll quickly go
he got Whiteside, so he got the waiver of the year, so he's had a good year. I'll give him an A on waivers just because of that.
Just because of that, yeah. You get the best waiver. Where the fuck is he going?
Yeah, I thought his draft was pretty good.
So he had Russell, Blake, Bledsoe, Depot, Alice. His next 2 picks. Next 3 picks are questionable.
Probably give him a B+ for his draft. I mean,
pick 6 to 8, I reckon.
I'll just let you know right now, Nick. Because at the start of the season, you would have been happy if you picked 7. You would have had a post, or you would have, believed. But I'll tell you right now, Larry Sanders is a shit cunt. Pick 7. Undraftable.
If he re-signs with the team next season, he's not being drafted.
He's shit.
Having said that, then he'll end up on the waiver.
I'll give you an A if you take Sanders. I'll give you a B+. But I guarantee Nick has pretty much put Sanders in somewhere near what we've put him in as far as the do not draft list because he's shit.
Yeah, he destroyed you last season.
Yeah.
And he was destroying me at the start of the season, last season.
All right, mate, we're almost done. Let's wrap it up.
So we'll quickly go to... did Joel finish the top?
We'll go over them at some other point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll leave it?
Yeah.
Because we'll talk about the grand final at some point.
Yeah, at some point I'll try and
We'll do a grand final, Spice. Not straight away, but yeah.
yeah, or maybe like we'll have a look at that later on.
Season ending,
Yeah.
So, wow, we've got like a few more days in this matchup.
Yeah, last matchup. Update the score, mate. See what we're at. We're still 6-3. 5-4.
Ooh.
So it's changed. Nelson's taken. Blocks. Joel's got close on the blocks. Nelson's taken points by 3. So it's going to be pretty close this one.
It's going to be a nail biter.
Joel's in front. All right, guys. Hope you had a good season. 22 weeks, 21 weeks of Spice.
I hope everyone's enjoyed the Spice and everything nice.
Running out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously might see you next year. We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
For the new season. See you guys.
See you guys.